The next thing I want to get to is this weird ass LeBron thing that occurred that I truly don't even know what to make like heads or tails of it. So he opts in, right? Makes total sense that LeBron opts into this 52 million. He could have opted out and gotten like 54 million if he had wanted to. But here's the thing about opting out. Opting out and then re-signing makes it so that he is untradeable up until what? January or December. I can't remember which one. Mid-December, mid-January, something like that. By opting in, what he does is that he gives himself increased flexibility and gives the Lakers increased flexibility as they both move forward here. Now, him just opting in would make perfect sense, right? Like LeBron opts in, everything's cool. He's giving the Lakers a slight discount, whatever, right? Normal things happening normally. Then Rich Paul gives Shams a quote. And of course, they can't do things totally normally here.
It is LeBron.
LeBron wants to compete for a championship, Paul told ESPN. He knows the Lakers are building for the future. He understands that, but he values a realistic chance at winning it all. We are very appreciative of the partnership that we've had for 8 years with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and consider the Lakers a critical part of his career. We understand the difficulty in winning now while preparing for the future. We do want to evaluate what's best for LeBron at this stage in his life and career. He wants to make every season he has left count. The Lakers understand that, are supportive, and want what's best for him. Just don't say anything is the easiest answer, right, Bryce? Like,
I mean,
you can just not say anything.
We've gotten 20 years of this. We know better. And to be clear, it's been 20 years of maybe the greatest basketball career ever. But I'm not surprised. I didn't even need to read the quote. Like, I literally saw LeBron opts in, but what's this quote? And you just like, oh, something cryptic about him maybe wanting to be traded. And sure enough, Chris texts me 30 minutes later, where do you think LeBron's going? And I'm like, yep, here we go. It's good for the NBA, Sam. Maybe LeBron's just doing it for the NBA, right? To drive content.
Sure. So like, and to like stay in the conversation himself on some level, probably too, right? So, okay. I want to at least discuss a little bit what the options are.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I want to start this conversation by saying, I think that he's just staying in LA. Point blank. Like, that's my read. I think that he just stays in LA. Maybe there are options out there, but the problem with all of this is there are very few teams that can actually do this with LeBron. Like, there are very few teams that can actually swing a LeBron deal where they maintain being competitive and he continues to like make $52 million, right?
Real quick, like the fact that he's LeBron James and the quote, like, so here's the standard, Sam. You have to be better than the current Lakers, right? Like that's essentially what that quote says is we don't think, I'm reading between the lines, that they're competing for a championship this year. So you have to give us a better chance to compete for a championship this season than the Lakers. So if you aren't a team that has that on its roster after trading for LeBron, you're automatically out of the equation. How many teams does that immediately eliminate? 20?
Yeah, at least.
And he's not going to the champs. So the Thunder are out. So like there's another team. You take away the Pacers and the Celtics and these teams that have injuries. Okay, no, we're not going to take Pacers. We're not going to take out the Pacers
real quick at least.
What are you going to do? He's not going to go there because you think Tyrese is going to come back at the end of the year.
I don't know. I'm just like kind of thinking about it a little bit. I'm just saying like I took a second to think
in
about
a small market next season, like in Indiana, would be it. Just I guess Cleveland. So, but that's home. He's not going to Indiana, right?
I don't think he's going to.
I have no disrespect to Indiana. I live in Kansas. I don't have a stoplight in my town. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just saying, like, I don't see LeBron deciding to go to Indiana.
So yes, your point here is right though. So like people have brought up Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
Can you make the case for Cleveland doing this?
Yeah, sure. Go. Here's kind of you're only guaranteed 1 year of it. And you know me, Sam, like I'm always nervous about shortening my window. So my argument would be for Cleveland is, and I think this is for another East team as well. Celtics aren't competing this year. Indiana's not competing this year. If we're going to go, this is like the window is wide open for 25-26. If we think that he's the piece that makes us true title contenders, then this would be, the time to do it.
Okay, sure. What about what you have to give up?
So
like
that's why what's the window after he's gone?
I want to talk about this like just functionally.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So given their pending roster right now, according to our guy, Keith Smith, who is genuinely one of the all-time great people. And we love Keith on the show. We will have Keith on the show at some point to talk through some things. He doesn't know that yet, but Keith is the best, and I will make sure that.
Real quick plug, I jumped on with Keith on the front office show Saturday morning and recapped the draft. So if you want some stuff before Sam and I do it next week, you can go check that out over on the front office show.
According to Spot Track, where Keith does all the cap stuff, the Cavs, with their current iteration of 11 guys on the roster, counting Naquan Tomlin, so really 10 guys fully on the roster, accounting for Sam Merrill's new deal and accounting for the Lonzo Ball trade, they are $16 million over the second apron. They're $16 million over the second apron. That means to make something like this work, you basically have to find a place to dump DeAndre Hunter's money. Because otherwise, like a trade here is going to be incredibly hard because you can't aggregate unless you're under the second apron, right?
Yep.
So you have to dump DeAndre Hunter's money. And then you still, being over the first apron, you can't take back more money in a deal than what you send out. So creating a deal, right? Darius Garland and Jared Allen, sure, that's like $59 million, that works. Darius Garland and Max Strus, sure, $55 million or so, that works, right? I think that even like Garland, Lonzo, and you can't agree, or no, Lonzo was only 1-for-1, so you can, but like Garland, Lonzo, and Dean Wade or something like that, right? Like that gets you there. Allen, Strus, Lonzo, and Dean Wade gets you pretty close. But again, you're hard capping yourself at the second apron at that point, which they might be already. I can't remember. I don't think they are, though. There's just no way that this works to me. Like nothing about that situation works to where they become a better basketball team with LeBron.
Because of the depth that you're losing in that scenario.
Correct. So, and on top of that, here's the thing that makes it hardest, right? How do you dump DeAndre Hunter? Has to be to Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn wants assets to be able to do that because that's what they need. Well, like, what picks do you have? Like, you do have your 2026 pick, but you have traded 2027 already. You have your 2028 pick in a pick swap, but you don't have your 2029. You have your 2030 and your 2031. You can move your 2031 first rounder. Maybe Brooklyn would be willing to take their 2031 first rounder. But then what do the Cavs like? What do the Lakers want? Do the Lakers just do DeAndre or do Darius Garland? And
so that's
Jared
where I was
Allen?
Maybe. I was like, so I go that side, but like Austin Reeves and Darius Garland and Luka. I don't love that.
Yeah.
So like when you look at it from the Lakers side, like all of a sudden I was trying to dump Darius Garland, not dump, but like you can't also send him to Brooklyn.
Where do you send Darius at that point? Right?
Yeah, I was going to try to send him to Brooklyn, but that's too much money with DeAndre. And the reason you can't send DeAndre, who had, you can send him back to Atlanta, right? That was the one trade exception that we found that was enough to take on his money. Because obviously he makes way more than non-tax MLE. I don't know how many trade exceptions there are out there that are big enough to take on the 23 million.
And what's the point if you're Cleveland to go all in for 1 year? If I'm Cleveland,
I think I'm going to win it with this team. No, right?
I think I have a shot to win it with this team. Yeah.
Yeah. And if I decide this team isn't good enough, I would rather trade it for something that's more long-term than one. And I realize like LeBron, Cleveland, Ohio, like all of like I understand how much money they would make. Like we're purely talking on the court basketball stuff. I just like that trio would be a lot of fun and it makes a lot of sense. Like that's fine. It's just like, how are you rounding out the roster? Like what is the rest of that roster around that trio that, yes, you probably do still get out of the East because it's so weak. But again, to your point, why are you not feeling that way as is with this roster?
Okay. And then let's talk about the Knicks, right?
Yep.
The Knicks can do this with OG and Bridges if they want to. But again, that deal's really hard to match. Like that becomes really difficult to match financially because those two guys make what, like
50,
60 plus, right?
No, shoot. Yeah. OG's on 40,
like 50, 65, basically.
40.
So,
yeah. So now the Lakers have to add
there. You can get there and make it work, but like if you're the Knicks, okay, you're doing OG and Bridges. So it's Cat, it's LeBron, it's Jalen Brunson, it's Mitchell Robinson, it's Josh Hart, it's Deuce McBride, right? Your whole issue is depth
and defense, Sam. Like LeBron is not the same defender he was. It comes and goes. Can we agree with that? Like there are times where he can still be a very, very impactful defender. Maybe very, very strong.
He had like a good 35 game stretch this year on defense. I will give him credit for that.
Sure. So I guess in that world, you think he can still turn it up for the playoffs, right? But he ain't doing it in the regular season. And maybe that doesn't matter. But OG was an all defense level player. And there were still defensive questions from this team. And I know offensively that sounds awesome of those guys. You think LeBron's going to love Jalen Brunson just pounding it, like the way Jalen Brunson plays and he's just going to stand in the corner? Like Cat's never going to touch the ball now.
Yeah. I don't love the fit there. I mean, maybe the Sixers try something with Paul George, but like, why do the Lakers want Paul George?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that doesn't make sense. So I think LeBron ends up with the Lakers, I guess is my point. I don't see the move out there, I guess is my thing. That makes sense. Unless you want to say maybe Jimmy Butler for LeBron. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Is Golden State?
That's the only one.
Yeah. I know this sounds like people are going to take this like I don't think LeBron is great, and it's not the case at all. It's just like what's left of the team that he ends up on. And this is always the conversation with star trades, Sam. Always. But
the Warriors like can make the case that hey, we're going all in on Steph and Dre and we're doing LeBron. But again, if you're the Lakers, why do you want Jimmy Butler? You probably don't, is my thing, right? You have to get a ton of assets back with Jimmy Butler to me. It's more than just a first round pick if I'm doing this. And Andy Cruz brings this up. LeBron has a no trade clause. Like, that's a huge piece of this too. He gets to go where he wants. So that's a whole thing. So I don't really see it. I say this. I don't see this. I just want to, the Nuggets, another team, it's just really hard to make it work because they're both over the first apron. So,
I mean, and to the other side of that, he's also under contract now with the Lakers. So like the Lakers can just play LeBron as well. Like that's the thing. Correct. Is like, he's now like, he doesn't have the leverage of the opt out and whatever. He's opted in. He's under contract 1 year with the Lakers. So like they can just play it out. So like, again, to his point with the no trade clause and him opting in, like it just continues to limit the amount of teams that this seems like it could happen with.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't really see it. Someone brought up Dallas in the comments, like, sure, maybe, but for PJ, Gafford, and Clay.
Nah, I want live. If I'm the Lakers, I'm getting Lively in that deal.
Yeah, I agree. I want like a real dude, I think, if I'm them.